Good evening, everybody. I'll apologize for the, it seems like I'm getting a little bit of a later start each progressing week. The reason for this is I'm closing up my undergrad. Today was the last day of classes. Now, of course, this means that this is only the beginning of my troubles. I apologize for the... Looks like we got some buzzing, so let me fix that. Let's try that again. So, I'm going to be coming... Well, I'm at the end of classes right now, at the end of my undergrad. And it's beginning of my troubles, because, of course, this means that I have finals coming upon me, I'll have a thesis defense, and just generally trying to make sure that I actually conclude my education rather than fail to cross the finish line at the critical moment. It doesn't look like my channel's loading, so I'm going to risk resetting my dashboard and having Twitch give me some awful results. But, so the good news about this is that the reasons why I have been the reason why I've been starting a little bit later is going to be concluding fairly soon. I wouldn't say I'm out of the woods until effectively the end of April, when the defense occurs. It's basically the last thing I'll do as part of my undergrad. And then, I mean, I'll be sweating out the grades. Why I've been starting a little bit late. Still got the scratch. I'm out of the woods until effectively the end of April, when the defense occurs. It's basically the last thing I'll do as part of my undergrad. And then, I mean, I'll be sweating out the... Okay, so I think I diagnosed the problem. Sorry for the scratching at the start. But, anyways, the... yeah, so the basic idea here is that in the next couple of weeks I'm going to be very busy preparing for my finals, preparing for my defense. Well, writing the thesis, for that matter. And then once that's finished, the scratching at the start. Sounds like it's okay now. But once that's finished, I'm going to have a summer ahead of me for some streaming. I don't know if that's when Extra Life is going to happen, but it is definitely something that I'm considering. I should just caution you guys, I'm not able to read chat right now, but I'll let you know when it's back. So my plans this summer, I don't necessarily have any jobs lined up. It would be nice to do that, because it would certainly be nice to have some kind of an income over the course of the... Oh, come on, Twitch. So I noticed that there's some people tuned in, but looks like it's not letting me see the chat yet. So I apologize to everybody who's writing things in chat. If it persists like this, I'm just going to do what I normally do and open up the tablet. But looks like it's all sorted out. Okay. So yeah, with that in mind, slightly later starts the last few weeks. That's going to end once my education is formally finished, which will be April the 24th, I believe. Again, sweating out exams, but that's no reason not to do a stream. I'll have a summer ahead of me to do some streaming. I do intend to do some other things. For instance, I'd like to follow up on some of these ideas that I've had for things like Shadowrun campaigns. It'd be great if I could get some quality time in with Unity and possibly the Unreal Engine as well, just see what I can do with those tools, see if I can make anything interesting. I haven't determined yet whether or not I'm going to be streaming those, because I noticed that a lot of the crashes that I've had are the results of some kernel panics, and that's a combination of what OBS is trying to get my computer to do and what my computer can actually accomplish. I also think this is probably more of a function of it being in a very early state for the Mac. What else? Yeah, other than that, I'm definitely going to get some more streaming done. Near the tail end of summer, there's going to be some work that I need to do in preparation for grad school, but there's a recognition that I had kind of on my last day of classes as an undergrad, which was that since I got into school, I've always had a full course load, and I've always done as many classes as I could during the summer. During the last 2 years of my undergrad, I have added TAing on top of that. Well, TAing or RAing or something like that. I've added that on top of it, and all of that has always been on top of my like 2-hour commutes to and from school. So I am definitely feeling really worn out on the school stuff, and so I've committed to myself to try and do something not academic. Now, I mean, my temperament is such that I'm always going to babble on about whatever else, but the plan is to try and do something that doesn't involve me losing my mind in the university. So, with that in mind, it's Friday night, so we're going to be playing some Crusader Kings 2. I know last Friday we had a kind of an early end to this game. That was just because of some of the crashing problems. We hopefully won't have those. And I don't believe there is going to be a Risk of Rain game going on, so we didn't actually finish the story of Emperor Elizabeth, but we'll have that soon. Kite, I just saw your tweet. Thank you very much. Oh yes, one thing I should mention as well. I've got a meetup that I'm going to be going to on Monday, and if my normal behavior at meetups is any indication, chances are I'm not going to be at home in time for streaming. I'm assuming I'm going to get home quite late from that, and so, I could feasibly start a stream at like 12 or 1 o'clock or something like that, but it either wouldn't be very long or it wouldn't be very good. So what I will try and do is maybe do a stream on some other day, maybe Sunday, maybe Saturday. Well, I mean, tomorrow, I don't know if that'll work, but I'm going to try and I'm going to try and do a replacement, but I'll just let everybody know ahead of time. It's very unlikely that I'm going to stream on Monday. So, again, I'm sorry to be so inconsistent in that regard, but in this case, this was something that I'd agreed to. It is also Twitch related, so with any luck, there'll be a payoff for you guys down the road on it. But with that in mind, let's enjoy the game that we have in front of us right now. So, we're the Empire of Britannia. Our original design was to take Spain. Right now, the Teutonic Order has got a fairly good grip on it. Can't declare holy wars on Christians. The whole reason why we had originally planned on taking Spain was because it was owned by the Muslims. And we still have a few opportunities ahead of ourselves to take pockets, but nothing quite like the original reasons that we had. I think the main focus I'll have right now is claiming Astorga and... Well, actually, this whole duchy I believe I could claim. Let's just take a look here. Yes, so Asturias, but unfortunately, I am going to need to wait another 4 years before I can declare war on that. I'm not going to give up 5,000 prestige just so I can add 2 duchies. Or, sorry, 2 counts and a duke. We were also making some inroads in Scandinavia, but, I mean, realistically, unfortunately, these are all Christian now, so I don't get the same advantages of declaring holy wars. And it's a fairly long trip for me to try and take those areas. So I think the focus right now is going to just sort of be on the western parts of Europe. I'll worry about the Teutonic Order when it comes up. And in reality, I also need to sort of take care of the fact that I'm slowly building up my infrastructure, but not exactly what I wanted. Like, for instance, the technology isn't where it needs to be, and part of that's because I haven't been investing in universities. I think I have 2 that I can upgrade. So what we'll do here is we will fast forward and just build up some resources. We're also at one of those rare points where there's no war going on, so I will take that opportunity to... Nope. This isn't a good start. The game's already thinking hard. Oh yes, we've got a feast going on. The more wine the mayor drank, the louder and louder he talked and laughed until he let out a large snoring and fell face first onto his plate. The servants discreetly removed the mayor from the table and took him to a bedchamber. That's disgusting. -10 opinion. Bishop Senrad spoke up and told everyone how great the food at my feast was. I was really glad someone was kind enough to say something nice about the food, given how hard I had worked to ensure that the food was the best part of the feast. Well spoken. And then he gets drunk. So I have a lower opinion of him. Alright, so we have a call to arms, which will cancel the feast. So let's unpause for a bit and see if we can get these events out of the way. Oh yes, and now we have an opportunity to be awful. So, I made sure that the most beautiful lady would be my dinner partner, and during the feast I kept refilling both our wine glasses. My charm and winning smile made it impossible for her to stay unresponsive, and it didn't take long until she looked at me with more than interest in her eyes. I like to flirt, but I wouldn't do anything more than that, and I lose 5 prestige, or I'd like to show you the castle, especially my bedchamber. Now, we won't lose any prestige. He's the 32-year-old wife of my kinsman. Well, he's just a kinsman. It's good to be the king. The musicians played and the guests danced. I made certain that I danced with several different persons, and I think we all had great fun. One more dance. Yeah, more drunk. The mayor said nice things about the feast. The bishop who had just praised the feast is now condemning it. And it's done. So we will now accept the Teutonic Order offer. By the way, again, apologies if I'm not responsive to chat. Right now, I'm not actually seeing any activity in there. I do see there's some people inside, so I definitely don't mind lurkers. But normally I've heard at least something at this point. So feel free to send me a tweet if there's activity going on that I'm not responding to. Otherwise, sit back and enjoy the show. My liege, may your years be short and miserable. I have discovered a plot where Aethmer de Viana de Castello seeks to kill Prince Sithebirn of Britannia. It's actually been a while since I've gone over some of these plots, so there is a lot of them. Okay, well, first of all, let's worry about ransoms. And then to give, they all really like their lieges. Alright, well, none of that. Can't do anything because I'm at war. I should also think about factions. Okay, so let's see what's going on with plots. Again, the usual routine that I do is find out whether or not these are kinsmen or if they're people who like me. Oh, that sucks that my son is in hiding. Now this is interesting. This is actually an assassination attempt on somebody who is not of my bloodline, but then neither is he. He has a 100%, 100 opinion, he has a low opinion, so let's just end that. Nope, he doesn't want to abandon. Again, pretty much automatically end any plots that are against kinsmen, unless it's really Unless it's somebody who's really being a pain. So if somebody's leading a faction that could potentially take the kingdom, I'm not going to worry too much about those. It's another one of those examples where managing the kingdom, or rather the empire, is pretty cumbersome. It's definitely, it's a leaner operation as a count, and I actually think it's probably a better way to learn the game. I mean, it's fun to be a big empire, but just the amount of time that I spend sorting through things like plots and trying to keep the dukes in line is sometimes a bit of a pain. Currently actually I should be thinking a little bit more about this. So the plot that I'm using right now is just trying to kill this emperor. The reason for that is I'd prefer to go to war earlier than 4 years from now. And I do have a couple of factions though, so I'm not going to dedicate my spy master to it. What I will do, oh, looks like he's already working on Leinster, so I left this game in a much better state than what I'm giving myself credit for. Gain a little bit of prestige from the marriage. One thing I could try and attempt is the last little bit of Brittany I could try and take from France, but that's not necessarily a fight that I'd like to start right away. I'm still inclined to try and take as much of Spain as I can. Main reason for that is if I have too many pockets, I've already got, this little outpost in the middle of nowhere. Just generally, it's not I don't like having such a fragmented kingdom. Oh. Of course. Get married and we get... Wait a minute. He's declared Prince Cyprian of Britannia's war to revoke... Oh, okay. Looks like my son's doing awful things. Wait a minute. Yeah, not worried about it. If I can, the best outcome would be to... The best outcome would basically be to just sit and collect as much gold as I can until I'm ready to go to war. Yes, I've also been having some religious difficulties, so... We're not quite at the point where this island is where it should be. This is actually a particularly bad island to have heresy on it. We've got a tithe from Westmoreland, so about 150 gold. Always nice. There we go. This is the one I was looking for. Pleased to report the success of my mission to Shetland. The majority of the population has now been converted to the Catholic faith. Your humble court chaplain, Bishop Leofoyn of St. Cuthbert. So, I mean, there is a little bit of piety for it, which is nice, but the main reason I wanted that was if it is a hotbed of heresy, it's got a... it's got basically it's a factory for dissidents, and it's very hard to get everybody on ships and go to smash that revolt. It's one of the reasons why my treasury isn't what it should be. Slightly, I won't maybe say more importantly, but of equal importance, I can now take my chaplain, and I can go back to researching cultural tech. Do I have successors yet? Nope. I do have some options for technology here, so let's just take a look. Especially on cultural advances, I'm interested in. I've kind of already got Majesty, so it'd be nice to have a little bit more, but... It's been a while since I've been able to upgrade the Crown Authority. I have a feeling it's going to take a while. I think that's all of them. So, Britannia, England, Scotland. Where's Wales? Wales. Cool. So one of the drawbacks about maximum crown authority would be the fact that my vassals can no longer declare war on my behalf, but I'm sort of at a point now where I want to be focusing more on my own wars, and the maximum crown, or the absolute crown authority, or max crown authority, is going to give me greater access to troops. So England has approved. I just kind of want to see how much of this happens naturally. I can definitely grease some palms, but Portugal's on side. Okay, so it looks like we've got the low-hanging fruit. Let's take a look and see what we need. So, still have quite a bit of work to do with Britannia. Let's see, Scotland, if we can get Galloway online. Now, sadly, it doesn't look like I can give her... Oh, I can award an honorary title. Nice. So we will give her Keeper of the Swans. Probably not enough. Maybe let's see what it will take to give a gift. 26? I can handle that. So let's see if that's enough. Not enough. I don't really want to take my Chancellor away from... I don't really want to take my Chancellor away from the fabrication of a claim, so I think I'm just going to let that one rest for a little bit. See if there's anything else we can do about the Absolute Crown Authority. So I think Scotland should be fairly easy to bring over. Ireland's going to be a nightmare, it looks like. Portugal's already done it, so has England, so... Oh god, I didn't want to do that. So, we've got one major supporter. Or one major opportunity. Let's gift, 100 for bribe. But it's 56 opinion. I think I'm going to hold off on this one just because I have a feeling I'm going to need to make a pretty big press into Ireland. There could be an argument actually for me to use my Chancellor to improve these relations, but I'm starting to think Aelfrith might fancy me. Not married to anyone. Make a move. I went to Aelfrith's chamber and gave her a good tumble. It's good to be the Emperor. Bastard child incoming. There's really no advantage to doing that other than I can't remember which ones give you prestige and which ones just cost you prestige for not taking it, and definitely I can always use more roses. Looks like we've got some more plots to deal with. I'm not going to pause the game for these. I think I'm just going to reactively cancel the ones against the bloodline. Oops. Yeah, I'm really at a point where I can sort of afford to just cancel all of these automatically, but inevitably there's going to be one that I want and I'm going to forget to turn that off, which is my main excuse right now for keeping them going. I'm really curious, so I'm noticing that my loading times have increased quite a bit, and I'm not sure if this is because I've got a fairly sizable kingdom that needs to be managed right now, or if there's something that's going wrong with my streaming settings. I hope that's not causing too many interruptions for anybody out there. Certainly feel free to let me know if there are problems with the broadcast. What is going on here? I think it's time to reclaim my lands. Apparently I can't. Oh, that's right. This was my son trying to revoke a title from somebody. It's odd that I can't participate, though. Seeing another woman behind my spouse's back is becoming quite troublesome for me. The lies tear at my soul, and my longing to be with my lover is almost too much. It's a time to end such affairs and settle down, which will possibly give me the trait chaste. It will work out if I give a little bit more effort, which gives me a chance of becoming stressed, or I don't care about my spouse, in which I can potentially gain lustful or cruel. Now, cruel actually isn't that bad of a trait to have militarily. It's mostly just diplomacy that I'm worried about, but I'm already actually working to improve my diplomacy. So let's go for it and see what happens. I'm greedy and doesn't look like anything else happened. I'm at a slight disadvantage with this character, mostly just because of the fact that he was born slow. He's doing okay for himself, I'll admit. Is this worth killing? Yeah. Not too crazy about how my spy master's been handling the threats, though. Alright. While I wait for the treaty to expire, let's take a quick look and see if there's anything I can improve in my holdings. I think we already checked this for university. And looks like they're building a encampment anyway. More troops. So I don't know if this means that I don't have the technology or... How's it going, Endors? This is true, we have had bigger disadvantages before. Great to see you again. I was getting a little a little spooked at whether or not chat was working for me, because I don't think I've had such a long period at the start without hearing anything, but believe that one of your vassals can be discouraged from associating with conspiratorial factions if the proper leverage is obtained. How do you wish to proceed? We will ask politely. Not a common thing for this guy to do, but it looks like we need to find a new steward, so 19 works for me. Looks like we're getting a little bit more support for the Absolute Crown Authority. I think that yeah, it's still not where I needed it though. Okay, well, bribing him is a little bit of a waste because I've already been working on one person, but this might be enough to push it over the edge in Scotland, so let's see. And it worked. So I think we got England with absolute authority, we've got Scotland with absolute authority, Ireland is going to take forever, Portugal has it, so... Oh, Wales is kind of ugly too. Maybe I should just try for Britannia. You fell asleep at 8 and just woke up. Sounds like, actually, there was one day where I didn't make streaming for similar reasons. I woke up, or sorry, I had like a nap at a weird hour, and then I woke up, you know, at... Basically, like, I could have started to stream, but it would have been like 1 hour, and, like, in my opinion, that would have just been a waste of everybody's time. It's like, I know there's times where I've seen streamers that I like go online, and, like, I sign in, and it turns out, like, they're just testing or something like that, and I lose my mind when that happens, so... Alright, so we can upgrade one university? Or is that build a university? Okay, build a university, so that's the first priority. Oh, and I'm wasting my Spy Master right now because he can deal with some of the more threatening factions. I will admit, I'm really not sure if it's the wisest idea for me to be trying to fabricate this claim. Like, I want the claim for sure, but maybe it'd be better if I tried to get that law in. I don't know though, because Galatia could turn Italian any minute, and I definitely want to have a war with... I want to have a war with the weaker kingdom, not with... how strong is Italy right now? Well, 15,000 troops, so it's not something I couldn't take on, but they're definite... Like, again, that would involve boats and money, and not something I really want to do. It's been a weird day. You walked 3 miles to get Subway, you ate it, read in the park, walked home, did some housework, then fell asleep. No, that sounds like a good day, though. One of the things I miss about having sort of a lighter schedule overall was there's a park where I live, like not the city that I live. It's actually fairly long. It's a fairly large distance from where I reside. But I used to put like I'd sometimes bring reading, I'd sometimes have a podcast, and I'd just walk along, we call it the seawall, basically just a long body of water, sunny day, and hear interesting things. So now I should ask, what were you reading? I don't feel too well. Something is wrong with me. I am burning up with fever, my nose is running, and my head feels as if something is banging hard against it. Please kill me. I gain the trait ill. My Emperor, I am pleased to report that the majority of the population in Salamanca has been converted to the Catholic faith. Your humble vassal, Bishop... I had no idea I had more heresy. Oh, Muslims. Yeah, I should probably deal with it. I've already got my cultural upgrade, so convert the heathens. Speaking of which, we also had the opportunity. Still don't know if trade practices is worth it, to be honest. Definitely want military organization. I don't think I have any cities participating in trade, so I'm going to go for church infrastructure. Wheel of Time series. I have to read fiction on a regular basis or I become cold and analytical. You know, that is actually one very unfortunate trait of mine, which is I love fiction, don't get me wrong, but it has been a very, very long time since I have read any work of fiction. I'm trying to remember the last fiction book that I've read. There's really interesting nonfiction that I've read. Like I definitely appreciate very good writing when it's done, you know, in a nonfiction format. I think there is definitely opportunities for creativity, and I've really enjoyed what I've read out of it. But I mean, I can remember being in, you know, high school and reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for the first time. You know, or anything. I mean, there's tons of books that I love. Neil Stephenson's Baroque cycle. Well, I love a lot of stuff that Neil Stephenson done, but especially the Baroque cycle was just something that feels like it was written for me. And, you know, I think about the fun that I've had reading all those works, and it's always a shame not to get back to them. Didn't read much fiction while you were in school, but don't have an excuse now that you're out of school. Yeah, and that's, I mean, I'm apparently just giving myself more excuses by doing another year of school. But anyways, my favorite subject does not interest me anymore, and I can't speak about it with the same zeal. I was boring before. Lose the trait, zealous. 47 and he lost his faith. Why couldn't we, like, buy a Lamborghini or something? Yeah, fine, we'll accept your invitation to not have fun. How's it going, Kite? That's actually one thing I should do this summer. Like, one is I need to do those walks along the seawall again. That was really good for me. And I remember I was doing more than just reading about economics. I was reading about real stuff. Or start listening in the podcast. So I think I'll give myself educational podcasts, but I'm going to make sure I bring some works of fiction with me. I might read like a classic or something like that. Like, it'd be really good to read like Moby Dick or Heart of Darkness or something like that. But you're going for an occupation that requires a lot of it to get your foot in the door. You'll go back to get master's eventually, but don't immediately need it. Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, don't get, like, I've definitely really enjoyed the process of researching my thesis, and I think I think grad school will be good for me. But I mean, there's definitely, like, in the end, any occupation that I choose is something that is supporting me and my interests. Like, I'm interested in gaming. I like gaming. And I can really like economics too, and I can really like study. And I think it's important to make sure that I support both. And right now it sort of feels like there's a little bit more of the, you know, the analytical and the, you know, the econ side that's getting the attention. And maybe some of those other things are, you know, are falling back. Oh, hello. Looks like I don't need to worry about claiming that from Galatia anymore. I don't know if you've read Dorian Gray, one of your favorite classics. You've read it like 20 times. I've read it once. I don't remember it that well, but I do like Oscar Wilde, so. Okay, let's go about this a smart way. Emperor Elizabeth the Magnanimous has not agreed to the law that... Why am I not agreeing to my own law? You know what? I'm just gonna hold off on that for a little bit. Let's try and focus on Ireland. So synth with... Let's start work on buttering her up. Yeah, Cut, I was meaning to ask you about the hospital visit, but looks like I just got it here. I'm really glad to hear you're all right, but good lord, man. Don't scare us like that. I hope you... Please promise us you won't fall off a roof again. I know you did that last one intentionally. Yeah, I actually have a brother who works in construction and had an incident, so I'm glad he turned out as well. Oh, good lord. The Ilkhanet converts. The great Khan Bugu of the Ilkhanet and his vassals have converted and embraced Nestorian Christianity. They say excellent, but I don't believe that's an Orthodox sect. Okay, so Diaco has approved absolute crown authority, which is fantastic because I plan on taking that empire from him. Alright, I think we can declare war. So yeah, I can declare holy war for Galatia, which is just the one province, or Asturias, which is the two. So obviously I'm going to claim for the two provinces. In the end, I'll, you know, it sucks I can't get that top corner, but I'll live. Let's see if I can handle this with my 5,000 troops. He's currently got... Oh, I mean, he's going to bring in friends, but I'm pretty sure I can handle this. I'll get some early points by taking this out. If you want to improve your skill at diplomacy, you need to become a confident public speaker. Swaying the hearts and minds of men with simple words is not an easy thing, but you've started practicing in front of a mirror. Things can only improve. You talking to me? So it'd be cool if I did use something other than my retinue, but the big thing here is I want to get these early easy points in the war score by wiping out his existing troops. And then we can sort of buckle up for the siege component. And looks like we got a not very high profile prisoner, but we'll handle it. So he has got the Umayyads involved. Umayyads are actually a scary group to have involved, just because they have how many troops? Depends on what war they've been in recently. 17,000. So I can definitely handle them. Sorry for the static. Your spymaster Palodi of Benthir seems to have friends and informants inside every Jewish community in Europe. Messenger pigeons arrive in his abode on a daily basis, often carrying vital intelligence from abroad of new weapons and tactics. Excellent work. And the fever's gone, so things are going well for us. So the really tough call here is to see what's going on with the Umayyads. I am their only target. Oh, but they only have 4. That does not make any sense. Okay, so the Duke of Marrakesh is coming in with 1,000 troops. I can handle that. The Umayyad Emirate is coming with 4,000 troops. Okay, well, it's actually not a problem at all then. Actually, it's not even a rule anymore, but I am breaking my tradition of not going at full speed during these, during a war component, but I kind of want the Holy War to be over as quickly as possible. This is always a bit of a conundrum because this is eventually going to become a credible threat. But if I get out of this territory, then I'm not going to be able to... I'm going to lose all of the power of the siege. So I'm going to hold off for now. I sadly can't split the stack because I really don't want to just have a 2-to-1 advantage. I really want to use the full 5. Oh, it's just the Teutons. Stomp them out like the anthill that they resemble. Yeah. I'm going to hold off what I'll do is I'll at least take the main holding in that region, and then I'll go and flush out the 1,000 troops. Oh, good lord. So it's Zamora. I mean, the good news is my retinue's there, but the bad news is I really would rather not have any more military engagements than I'm already brought in with. So the Jabrid Sultanate. Uh-oh. That's the 17,000 troops. Your hard work practicing in public speaking in front of a mirror has paid off. You now feel much more confident when addressing others, and your skill at the art of diplomacy has likewise improved. Countrymen, lend me your ears. Gain 2 diplomacy. So I have a feeling in a little while I'm going to need to raise my levies and turn this into a real war. But let's be sneaky. And give them a call to arms. Excellent. So I've got the Teutonic Order. So there's 2 advantages to the Teutonic Order joining this. I'm going to gain the territory. They're going to hopefully take the brunt of any military engagement. And that will just leave them a little bit weaker if I want to try and take their territories. Now, the reality is they're probably going to rebuild their forces before I ever want to take any of their territory. But in case the opportunity comes up, they're definitely the people who hold lands that I would want in my own possession. So it doesn't hurt to have them involved in a bloody conflict. My full army force? Right now, 47,000 troops. A son was born to Emperor Elizabeth the Magnanimous and Ulfricson the daughter. Alright, chat, do we want to keep this fellow named Guthfrith? Or do we want to name him something different? I'll give you a few minutes, and while you guys are deciding, I'm going to go into another window and take a look at some books I want to buy. Yeah, we have grown slightly beyond our 1 county. I remember when we used to have to hire mercenaries to get our dirty work done. Have we had a Charles? I don't believe we've had a Charles yet. Charles it is, my books can wait. It seems my amorous adventures have resulted in a child. Little Charles is my spitting image. I could legitimize him, I could acknowledge him as mine, or I could denounce the child. I definitely don't want to legitimize him. Well... Ooh. It's a really big hit to take on people's opinion of me. But I'd really like... I'm gonna legitimize him just so I can give that duchy away. I believe one of your vassals can be discouraged from associating with conspiratorial factions if the proper leverage is obtained. How do you wish to proceed? We will obligate him. Charles is not my heir. He could potentially be my heir, but that would require a few untimely deaths. Oh, and I was looking at the wrong menu as far as opponents to the law, so I should have been focusing on this menu. Looks like, so with Synthwolf, Wolf here, Wolf Seitel. It's possible we'll get this in my lifetime. I definitely didn't help my situation by angering my children. But I definitely, like, the more roses I can put into these positions, the happier I am. So far, the Teutonic Order hasn't actually been helping. It looks like we've actually got a couple of factions with this guy, so let's get my spy master working on this. More roses, quote unquote. He's come from my loins. He counts as a rose. I'm the emperor, I make the laws. Oh, that was quick. Blackmail him. Honored Emperor, though I curse your name, I will comply with your unfair demand. Just keep the sensitive information to yourself. And let's see. Scarred, envious, arbitrary, wroth, cruel, lustful, zealous, charitable, and stressed. Well, I know why he's stressed. I'm not quite sure what I'm blackmailing him with. It'd be cool to move my spy master right away, but he's too good at his job. So this should be over in a second, and I can start worrying about mopping up the troops. Need a new marshal. Honestly, 17 isn't that great compared to some of the other marshals that I've had, but in this case, I'm... Actually, you know what? I've been doing a lot of troop training, but I've been avoiding raising levies, so in this case, I'm actually going to research military tech. I also think this might actually hurt me because I really need the cash for my universities, but I'm also going to search economy tech with my steward. If I was really ballsy, I'd move the chaplain to research cultural tech, but I do actually want him converting heathens. Oh, that was quick. By the way, my spy master really hates me. He always keeps talking about what a bastard I am in his correspondence. I'm not going to give up any prisoners yet, but let's end the plots against my blood. So one catch about bringing the Teutonic Order in here is that they're bringing so many troops that it's actually causing starvation in my other units. This guy either has great support staff or he's not really as slow as you're making him out to be. This guy, like, his original stats sucked. Like, just straight out sucked. But, I mean, they're not bad right now. Like, this is definitely a guy who came from nothing. Okay, we've got disbanding groups. Looks like some people inside my realm are going to war, but that should be ending once I've got my absolute authority in place. What war was this again? Aquitaine versus Champagne. Oh, I could care less about how that goes. And was that trip enough to... No, it wasn't to bring her on side for the authority. I mean, it's just as well that I'm not fabricating claims because it does involve a cost of some prestige and definitely quite a bit of gold, if I remember correctly. But it'd still kind of be nice to not have to worry, not worry as much at least about Princess Akadine. Oh, right, we named somebody after Akadak. She's of legal age and became Midas touched. And whenever we need prestige, we marry them to a Carling. So let's see if I can do a matrilineal to a Carling. There is one eligible one. From Aquitaine. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, she's going to be 22, so maybe not so many kids, but that's a risk I'm willing to take for that. So in that one, I mean, we gain the prestige of the house from siding up with Carling. I can finally, with the matrilineal marriage, there's going to be some more roses that I can give some duchies to. Just overall a win-win. And I mean, she's Midas touched, so in the worst case scenarios, I have somebody who I'll be able to do some training for the heir. Alright, and we gain cultural technology from this really great spy network. My liege, it pains me to say, but there is a traitor in the realm. This rotten egg is plotting your downfall, and I enclose the damning evidence with this letter. Marshal, fetch me the traitor. Duke Ulf Seitel is imprisoned by Elizabeth. Or am I son? Of course I'm imprisoning him. Looks like the Duke of Meath is on side with this law, so I need... Oh, what do I need? Looks like just 2 more votes, actually, so... She likes me 100%. I don't think there's any other chances of getting her more on side, so... Duke... Afra, or... Okay. Let's try Osric. Now this is a risky one because he's old. But I'm gonna take a chance and say that Ireland passes this. Portugal's got it. England. Wait a minute. Oh, Wales. Wales is a 4. It needs at least 18. I actually think it's better for me to try and focus on Britannia right now. So here I'd like Wolf here of Kent. That shouldn't be too hard, actually. So basically, I'm just using my Chancellor to try and improve diplomatic relations so that I can get the absolute crown authority for the realm taken care of. And then, if I can, I'll try and mop up Wales. But Wales I'm not as worried about just because it's... like geographically it's very small, so I can actually afford to move my my chancellor province to province if it comes down to that for the next generation. It's rather confusing to hear about the adventures of Emperor Elizabeth. Yeah. Although I believe that wasn't that one of your suggestions? I can't remember. All right, and yeah, as it turns out, Lords of Ireland have approved the absolute crown authority law, so that was the right call to make. How's my army doing? It's about to take another province. Looks like the Teutonic Order is going to take care of these other ones, so... Wow, these pigeons are really paying off. Yeah, and we're at 91%, so... I suspect this will be over before I finish the siege, but I'm not going to move my troops away just in case. Oh god, what does Aquitaine want now? To the glorious Emperor Elizabeth, blessings upon you and your house, we request that you honor your obligation and answer this call to arms against Gilles of the Aquitanian revolt. Oh my god, he's got 3 revolts. Yeah, I'll accept, but you're screwed, dude. I really enjoyed BioShock Infinite. I've got the DLC, but I haven't really done that much in Burial at Sea. I'd really like to stream me playing Burial at Sea, but I noticed that first-person shooters are really unforgiving to low bit rates. It's mostly just because of the higher amount of motion, which translates into a lot of artifacting. So this is one I'd maybe consider if I were to go to a... oh, I didn't unpause. It's maybe one I would consider that if I was in residence, I'd maybe give that a try. But in reality, I think I'd probably need a dedicated streaming PC for something like that. Oh, we've won the war! We will usurp the title. We can usurp a kingdom. But looks like I lose it. Should have thought about that before I took it. Okay, don't die for 10 years. Oh, it's the bastard that gets it too. Alright, well, let's start with improving the Crown Authority. I still want to try and assassinate this guy just because I can go to war again pretty quickly. What else do we do? I can raise more troops for my retinue. I'd really want to have my steward collecting tithes, though. So one of the really great things about the DLC is that you get to see Rapture alive. So when you play the first BioShock, you know, Rapture has already had a disaster happen in it, and it's, you know, it's the environment that you've come to associate with any of the quote unquote shock games. Kind of cold and dead. I mean, BioShock Infinite was an exception because you don't come to like when you come to Columbia, it's not a mess. Well, I mean, it's a mess, but it's not obviously a mess when you arrive. You realize what's going on there sort of after the fact. Okay, let's start by betrothing my son. But yeah, so the really wonderful thing... Oh my god, Charles is slow as well. You had a buddy named Andrew Ryan? That's incredible. A man chooses, a slave obeys. But yeah, so I mean, that's one thing that the DLC has going for it. It's a film noirish atmosphere, so it's very hard not to make film noir be cool. So I mean, a really interesting setup. I haven't played through it too deeply, but it definitely seems to be like it's a different take from the main game, but it's one that I have a feeling I'm really going to enjoy. So I hope I do, at least. I mean, you can never know, I suppose, but all right, you know what? I'm on a roll with these Carlings, so let me just find the youngest one. Okay, she'll do. Oh, that's really interesting. So I get nothing from it, but he gets 497. It's not worth it to me then. Let's look for somebody with good stats who isn't 33. Guess it's hard to have stats when you're that young. Oh, this is so hard. Okay, maybe the Carling girl isn't that bad. I'd rather not go for inbred. Okay, no. Maybe sort by rank? Well, an alliance with Italy wouldn't be bad, but... You know what? Screw it. Let's just go for it. Do you have to tell other people that you're marrying their child to a slow person? Nope. I guess it's a betrothal, not a marriage. I'd rather not have them distribute my titles, seeing as I will be giving them all to my son as soon as a betrothal comes through. Okay, so this is the first time I've actually done this right. So now what I do is I grant the landed title and the lower titles, and I don't give him the kingdom because I want that for myself, but I will give him the duchy. And now I don't need to worry about my demesne being too big. Now the problem is this guy's already he's gonna get that title if I die before I can change the laws. But we'll do everything we can to avoid that. I'm collecting taxes now, right? Yeah. So let's, while we're at peace, let's just take a chance, or take an opportunity to increase the size of our army. I wonder if I can raise my boats. Something tells me this isn't going to be enough to transport them, but let's give it a shot. Oh, they can. Wonderful. So I don't need to spend an arm and a leg just to get my retinue in place. Split the House of Rose primarily to the legitimized bastard. Your heir will love taking that back. Indeed. I mean, I'm still holding out for this to be a long-lived member of the House of Rose. Like, I'm not sold that this guy is not gonna make it to the point where he can change it. When am I allowed to change that anyway? Come on, man. Alright. Oh, hello. It's only because I'm at war that I can't change that. Okay, that's fine. So it's not even going to be 10 years that I need to worry about. I should have read that a little more closely. Same dialogue as last time, so I'll just accept the two diplomacy and move on. So what's our new ambition? I can do martial or intrigue. I think martial's better because that will increase my troop count as well as just generally make me better at combat. You'll notice that I haven't actually improved that much as far as my levies. Sitting on just below 50,000 troops. Not that I use them. I still like the idea of researching the military tech. We still have... Actually, we have more heathen provinces because we just conquered some. Hello? Waldesian heresy? The Teutonic Order is slipping. It'd kind of be cool to piss off the Muslims and take some of their holy sites, but Jerusalem I'm not quite ready to... I mean, look at this. Oh, hang on. It's not the Emperor I thought it was. Oh, it was the Abbasids that I needed to worry about, not the Umayyads. So what are the Abbasids sitting at right now? Oh my god. That's ridiculous. When they're at full strength, they have over 120,000 troops. So, I mean, I'm really curious what would happen if I converted this into a Europa Universalis 4 game. I want to know how badly they would wreck me. The Tengri Reformation. The ancient Tengri religion is proving unable to withstand the onslaught of the cross and moon. Rather than abandoning the old ways, Khan Kutula of the Golden Horde and the most powerful priests have decided to reform the Tengri faith. With codified rites, a holy scripture, and a strict church hierarchy under a single leader, they hope the reformed Tengri faith is better armed to fight back against the weak and effeminate foreign beliefs. They're still barbarians. So let's take a minute to learn about the Tengri faith. The Reformed Tengri faith has a holy book written by the Orkhon runic script, the standardized liturgy, and a formal church hierarchy led by the High Priest of Tengri, who can be vassalized by secular rulers. Defining features of the game: there's always a High Priest, even if unlanded, can raid neighbors for loot, and the High Priest can call great holy wars. 120,000 troops, minus 12 goals. Seems like starving is imminent. Yeah, well, I mean, I'd hope, but these guys are definitely ready to kick ass. The plan for them would basically be to go in through Africa and just start carving them up all along these sides. And what I'd particularly need to wait for is just times where they get involved in conflicts with the Byzantine Empire, who, I mean, they're nothing now. 24,000 troops. What's the Golden Horde sitting at? I mean, they're pretty scary too, 50 or almost 60,000 troops. But I mean, the thing is, I'm never going to make it to the Abbasids. Like, it's going to take a lot to get there. And I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that I'm going to be able to actually do that before time runs out and Crusader Kings do. Not that I won't try. Oh, hello. My cope. Oh my god. Empress Simon. So, guess she's mad about those 3 secondary wives. My co-conspirator has hired someone to saw through the supports of the railing on the balcony Emperor Diaco III is known to frequent. Someone may soon take a bit of a tumble. Kite, I don't want you to read anything into this. Look out below! The Byzantines need to fall. You need to, the Golden Horde to start fighting them, and I opportunistically swing in and take the world. I mean, the Byzantine Empire isn't that big of a deal anymore. I'd honestly prefer the world to be more fragmented rather than these big empires forming, unless it's my empire. If I wanted the easy route, I would take Europe, because Italy's really the only one I'm worried about. But it's just so much easier to declare a holy war on somebody. So, and in this case, we did successfully assassinate the ruler. So, who inherited the Sultanate? Oh, Diaco IV. So I can immediately declare a holy war. Now, I really want to know. So I guess it's just the province I'm taking. But anyways, we'll declare the war. He's only got how many troops? Yeah, 3,000 troops. This will be a piece of cake. Oh, come on. Mildly stupid of me to do that, to do another war, when I'm sort of waiting for them to wind down, but I mean, these are all at around the 30% mark, and they've been that way for a while. So, the bigger worry I have is not that those wars are going to go on too long, but rather that my ruler will die in combat. And I think we just got a new pope. Alright, I think I'm just going to punch some troops for a little while. I got a Umayyad. Wrath of the Old Gods. In response to a new era of crusades and jihads among the Abrahamic monotheists, the great high priest Bukha has informed all Tengri shamans of his plans for a magnificent Tengri pagan response. In fact, all pagan heads of religion may now declare great holy wars. This could be the beginning of an unprecedented heathen aggression. Lock up your son and daughter! I've never seen that before. This is fantastic. The world's going to end in fire in the closing centuries. Oh my god, what's this? Okay, Lords of the Sky. The mighty Sky Father of the Tengri faith is all-seeing but still has need of human instruments on the ground. The Lords of Sky, a new holy order, has been founded in the wake of the Tengri Reformation. Ride to do battle against infidels and spread the will of the Sky Father to all corners of the world. The deafening sound of these knights approaching on their mounts is like thunder in the sky. The noise alone is rumored to have made some convert to the Tengri religion on the spot. What will these barbarians think of next? Have I tried to vassalize the heathens without fighting them? That's a good point. I don't think that would apply to Hispania, which is an empire and so equal in status to me. But I would be interested to see if I can vassalize some of these others. Yeah, we're totally right. We're going to ride into Armageddon before this game is over. Without a doubt. What would be fantastic if it was with the Abbasids in, in Jerusalem. Like, hell, let's make it directly at Megiddo. Oh, crap. Don't go there. I will not hit my mouse button for emphasis ever again. Okay, so this is a neat one. If I look at my factions, primogeniture succession in Asturias, which my son wants. Now, can I join? Actually, speaking of which, I really should be breaking up some of these factions. Not this one. I actually want this one to succeed. And actually, while we're at it, let's focus on these laws again. So, is Kent on side? Looks like he isn't. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, well. I don't really want to pay... Oh, he's demon-possessed. Yeah, I'm not spending $115 to make a demon-possessed guy like my law. Grandpa wouldn't have clicked away. He would have gone there and immediately claimed the land as his. Oh my god. 10,000 angry Muslims at my door. I can declare war? What's my CB? Okay, call to arms, and how do I make sure my retinue doesn't die? March 28th, March 21st. We run like hell is how we make sure we don't die. But now I need to deal with angry Muslims, so 6,000 troops is simply not enough. I hate it when they can stand up to bullies. Alright, Teutons are in. So we could actually potentially fight them off right now with our strength, but that is absolutely not one that that's not a risk I'm willing to take. I'll gladly spend the money for the ships. I have trumped everyone, and I am the best emperor ever. Now what? Emperor Elizabeth the Magnanimous loses the trait ambitious. Holy crap. Okay, they're going to Coimbra, which means I'm staying put. In fact, the more I can distract these jackasses, the happier I am. Let's see if we can run across here. The one thing I don't want to do is get into a fight with them. Oh, looks like they're leaving me alone. Yeah, the vassals are mad that they actually have to do their job. Takes a lot to make me cry. Okay, let's go real ballsy and actually try to take that territory while the Doom Stack is in the Holy Order territory. They are gonna kick my ass if they... Oh, yep. They know. So now the name of the game is, can I get these ships there in time? It's probably more than enough. But we'll bring these ones just to be safe. And I'll do my best not to complain about the UI. Seeing another woman behind my spouse's back is becoming quite troublesome for me. The lies tear at my soul, and my longing to be with my lover is almost too much. Again, I'm going to war. Don't care about my spouse. The magnanimous who constantly cheats on his wife declares war for the most paper-thin reasons. Sounds like the kind of emperor I like. And he did not gain any traits I'm too unhappy about. So again, I need to keep an eye on where these guys are going. Okay, actually, I need to get the hell out of here. There's really nowhere for me to go. Alright. Let's just book it for... Okay, well, looks like they're not moving, so I won't either. Basically, I just need to keep an eye on these guys. If they seem like they're going to be in a position to kill this stack, I get the hell out of there. And if they're not, then I continue the invasion. Looks like I got my answer. They're also losing quite a bit to attrition, which is nice. I'll say he's not a heretic just for the sake of being nice. I've already got enough problems. Actually, let's just be safe and... Okay, no fleet levies, and I don't want to disband my troop levies. Hello, Muslim neighbors. Dahlia, my friend. I thought you were playing Men of War. Thank you for stopping by. Oh man, and they split their stack. This is going to be perfect. Alright, so we're still working on the Duke of Kent. Until he actually approves my absolute authority, I don't care. Oh, you finished. So I got past, if you look at my Steam achievements, I did get past the first mission. I'm not entirely sure I know nearly enough about the game, but I am intrigued. Alright, Kent has approved absolute authority, so... On to the next one. We will target the Duke of Essex. So again, the idea here is Britannia is the hardest one to bring in absolute authority for, but it's going to result in a massive spike in terms of my troop count. So if we can get this before I die, it's fantastic. If not, I mean, we just keep trying, but we already know how hard it is to change those laws. Listen, I had like, what was it, 30 deaths versus 500 Nazis dying? I call that a good day's work. We're doing the Lord's work, just like you can see here on the screen. In the chaos of battle, your men have managed to corner Duke Monio II. He resisted bravely before they slew him. Good riddance. My liege, my mission to Essex so far has been a success. During my visit to Duke Wolfere, why are you still at the... Oh, sorry, Essex, not... Never mind. Gonzalo Umayyad was captured in battle and is now my prisoner. Oh wow, we actually got a lot of people. And we'll obligate the vassal who's conspiring against me. So we're not, I mean, 21%'s not bad on the war score, but we're not as high as we could be just because we don't have, we don't actually have any territory yet. And now that we have gotten rid of a faction... Again, this is the one faction I'm not going to worry about. They're growing reasonably fast. This is ultimately the succession that I want in that region. So, if they're successful, I'm happy. Let's take care of Lower Crown Authority in Scotland. It's a little bit of progress being made on these wars here, but I have a feeling that my war is not going to be the last one to be resolved. Alright, do we chase these jackasses across the continent? Yes, we do. So much low dime. Alright, works for me. I have a feeling I'm gonna starve to death if I put these guys in on the siege, but let's see what happens. Guess I should start worrying about these plots too. Man, they really want this guy dead. I'm trying to think if there's any other plots that I really want to do. Not right now, because I've got Yeah, I mean, if I think about it... Oh, hang on. Can make the Kingdom of Lyon. I think I'll wait until my authority laws pass. History is a subject that has always fascinated you, and you've spent the last few weeks studying the campaigns of Alexander the Great. There are many lessons to be learned from his conquests in the East. Perhaps I too will march east one day. Gain 1 marshal. And now we get the begging letters. Yep. Oddly, it was not a smart idea to put 32,000 troops in a small corner of Spain. So let's just ditch this group. Oh, crap. I just killed about 10,000 troops by disbanding them on enemy territory. On the plus side, I only have 6% more war score, and then I win. Actually, you know what? That's not so bad that that happened, because it means that my overall strength is lower, which means that that faction that I want to succeed is going to have a higher percentage. Have a good night, Kite. Alright, so we may offer peace. And there is a lot of stuff that we can do with this. So let's start by creating some new titles. Then we will usurp... Oh, do I want to usurp this kingdom? Let's create the duchy first. Let's think about what I want to do with that kingdom. So I guess there's no way for me to know what its laws are. I think I'm going to be cautious. The big thing here is that this guy's 53, so he could potentially die at any point. I think it's better if I hold off from usurping the title until I have a younger ruler, and then I can basically just hand it off to whoever I want. So as far as duchies go, let's give him the rest of his title. Oh my god. And then he usurped the Kingdom of Galatia. I wonder if I can... Oh my god, I can. This is gonna destroy my opportunity to bring in that law that I wanted, but gives me another kingdom. And it is primogeniture. Yeah, he doesn't like me. So I don't think that law is going to get changed. Honestly, I don't think any of these laws are getting changed after that move. Okay, actually, there's surprisingly fewer people that hate me than I thought there would be. So at this point here, we're just going to sit on our hands and wait for... We're going to sit on our hands and wait for the these wars to wind up. I think the next thing I need to think about is any wars with the Teutonic Order. So they're sitting at about... I mean, they're more or less full strength at 25,000 troops. Can't offer vassalization because they are at war. Okay, well, I'm going to ignore what happened as far as vassals are concerned. Let's focus on disbanding the factions that I can, and then we will... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Chancellor to start working on fabricating claims again. So I guess I can't offer this guy to be vassalized because he's already... Okay, what about these guys? No, because Distant Realm and Base Reluctance. Something tells me Hungary does not want to become a vassal. Yeah. Gain? Well, big difference in power, but foreign culture, base reluctance. I could possibly up his personal attachment to me, but I don't think that would be enough. Yeah, no vassalization options. Yep, the Teutonic Order are a bunch of Catholics. I mean, I hate to say it, but it almost feels like I should just go... Yeah, you know what? Fabricate the claim. I don't have to... I mean, if he succeeds, I don't have to use it, but I think that's the way to handle this. Mostly I'm just going to wait for the war to finish. After months of fights, arguments, and tears, my spouse suggested separate bedchambers. Let us rekindle our love. We'll put the bastard behind us. Oh, looks like I've still got people coming on side with these laws. Oh, damn, this is actually really close to passing. Who do I need to bribe? Synthwith of York. So we'll start with a gift and a title. Okay, apparently I have no titles to give. What kind of viceroyalty can I give? I don't want to make him... Yeah, you know what? That's a dangerous game to start playing, so let's just start with the money. And I know this is very flaky of me, but I am actually going to send my chancellor to go work on him. I don't believe attacking Christians on its own will cause allies to dislike. I mean, so what if my allies don't like it? I believe it's if you attack Christians while they are fighting pagans. But even then, I just stole a kingdom from my son, so everybody's already mad at me. Well then, we have got a rebellion on our hands. Where? I don't know. Oh, right on top of my retinue. That makes it convenient. I probably should have checked where they were going. This is going to take a while. No, we already won. Alright, I think it's time to do a little bit of house cleaning as far as my dungeon is concerned. Ransom. Still considering the offer, so never mind. I believe if I banish... Okay, I don't get anything, so... Yep. I mean, he hates me, but I'll take the 145. Oh, but he's the Duke of York. Crap. Oh, it looks like that didn't matter, actually. Yeah, so let's just improve diplomatic relations. So I need about 114 votes for this thing to pass. York has... how many again? 8. So that's just enough. I will very happily bribe him again if I have to. I should also check to see if I can adjust Asturias. Yeah, so it's just the piece that's keeping me from that. There's a side of me that almost wants to just jump into this war and end it on my own, but I'm not entirely sure that's going to be the faster of the two routes. Where's the Barony of Gateshead? Oh, no, I don't want to give that up. I mean, all told, this has actually been a fairly good run for this generation of the House of Rose. It'd be cool if I could make some more titles, to be completely honest. But other than that, really, 96 is not enough for you to approve the damn law? Wait a minute. I'm impressing the wrong guy. I think it's the minus 99 guy that I need to... Oh god, not more. No. Yeah. I've been buttering up the wrong guy. I actually should have executed him, if anything. Fortunately, that's what spy masters are for. A sunny uprising? Oh, good lord, that's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna wait till they split up, which they don't do, so... we will very carefully raise levies one by one. The game will not let us raise levies one by one, so we will... Ugh, it's a really ugly placement. Okay, so I'm curious if these guys wind up moving. Ooh, hello. Oh, that's the matrilineal marriage. Yes, please. They're gonna dig me for 25 prestige every single time I say no. Alright, well, I'm wasting my Chancellor's time doing that, so let's go back to fabricating claims. Okay, they are going to Santiago on the 26th. They arrive on the 30th. Well, let's just throw them into the conflict. They will arrive 16th December. Okay, yeah, so this is the way we're going to play it. Oh, nope, that's not the way we're playing it. I think I just screwed these guys, but I'm going to hold it off until December the 4th, or December the 3rd. Okay, so everybody's heading here. I wait till roughly this point where I disband the troops. And okay, so we only have... We've got the revolt to take care of, and then we can institute the law. Now, I'm not crazy about... Oh god, I completely forgot. I'm not crazy about these odds. I'll win, but I think I'm going to lose more troops than I really want on this fight. But I think the way to do this is I will move into the territory, and then I will raise levies once the fight starts, just so I can give a little bit... Oh, God. Revolution all over the place. Kill the lawmaker! No, don't do that. Thank you for costing me over 100 prestige now. Okay, so... So these guys are dealt with. Unfortunately, that means I lose these troops. But we can unite in dealing with the pestilence. Freighter 5, how is it going? Thank you for stopping by tonight. As you can see, we are... It used to be a really badass member of the House of Rose, but he's currently undergoing a few revolutions at the moment, which are making him a little bit sub-grandpa at the moment. And how are you doing this fine evening? Oh yeah, I normally do all my evil on one terrible day. It's just, these are rebellions of opportunity, it looks like. I really need to be focusing on one revolution at a time. Okay, cool. So once these two revolts are done, we will get our law. We're only killing heathens, which is completely fine. They are going to Salamanca, so will we. Hey, we got the celebrity achievement. I guess the next one we need to do is the piety one. So to that end, you go grab their families, put them on pikes outside your castle gates. Well, we did just win the wars. I leave the conspirators' fates to your imaginations.